Studies Section 3, Management Thought and Educational Administration 1. Introduction. In the previous study session, you were introduced to educational administration, its importance. The present stage of educational administration was a product of different management eras and contribution of scholars. Right from the time of scientific management, concerted efforts have been made to bring about effectiveness and efficiency in administration. In this study session, you will learn about the major management eras which have significant impact on educational administration. Specifically, this session covers only three, that is, scientific management, administrative, classical, and human relations out of the 5 eras. The remaining 2 eras, the behavioral and management science, will be considered in the next study session. Learning outcomes for study section 3. At the end of this session, you should be able to discuss the management movement or schools of thought, explain the scientific management era or movement, discuss the classical or administrative management era or movement, explain the human relations era or movement, management eras / movement. There are about 5 schools of thought with different approaches and perspectives to management. These perspectives have significant influence on practice of educational administration. These management eras or movements are A. Scientific management, B. Administrative or classical management, C. Human relations, D. Behavioral science movement, E. Management science or quantitative approach or movement. As said earlier, you are going to learn only 3 of these movements in this study session. Scientific management writers recognize the importance of selecting people physically and mentally suited to their work and emphasized training. Scientific management also advocated the separation of thinking and planning managerial work from actual performance of tasks. This means that management bodies should be separated from those that implement the policy. Therefore, in school administration, the school head teachers, the principals, and their deputies formed the management crew. Taylor's work drew attention to efficiency through effective management of jobs in education, shortcoming of scientific management. On the other hand, scientific management was criticized for not showing strong concerns for the social aspect of managing. While this approach emphasized economy and efficiency in the use of tools and human beings, it did not take cognizance of the human at work. Also, the approach overlooked the social needs of workers while emphasizing the economic benefit to the workers. The approach did not also consider workers' job satisfaction and other emotional needs. Scientific management is anti-democratic in the sense that it separates the manager from the worker, since it gives the management only the right and prerogative to manage, while the workers have the duty to work. In a truly democratic situation, the workers and the management should work together to achieve the integrated individual and organizational goals. The approach promoted individualism rather than team spirit because of the competitive nature of more work, more pay. This had implications on teachers' job satisfaction, which in turn affected their productivity. Classical or administrative management era stroke movement 1920 to 1950. Henry Fayol, Linda Arwick, James Mooney, Sloan, and others tried to look at organizations from a broad perspective to determine what all had in common. Their objective was to identify universal principles of management. These principles cover two major areas. One was the design of a rational system for administering an organization. By identifying the major functions of a business, the classical theorists believed they could determine the best way to divide the organization into work units or departments. The 14 principles of management. Traditionally, these business functions are finance, production, and marketing. For instance, Henry Fayol proposed 14 principles of management. These shall be discussed in details later. However, these are summarized as 1. The division of labor. 2. Clear delineation of authority and responsibility. 3. Discipline must be maintained. 4. There must be unity of command. 5. There must also be unity of direction. 6. Individual personnel interest must be subjugated to overall interest. 7. Respectable remuneration must be guaranteed to workers. 8. There must be a delicate balance between centralization and decentralization of authority and power. 9. Order must be maintained to avoid chaos and disaster. 10. There must be a scalar chain of authority and communication ranging from the highest to the lowest position. 11. Security of jobs must be ensured. 12. The use of initiative by staff should be encouraged. 13. There should be equity, fairness, and justice in dealing with staff. 14. There must exist what he call esprit de corps, that is concentrated effort, total belonging, and unity of purpose and direction. Furthermore, another of the renowned scholars of administrative era was Max Weber. He was the one who introduced bureaucracy into administration. Weber looked for rules to eliminate managerial inconsistencies that contribute to ineffectiveness. He believed in the strict adherence to rules which would make bureaucracy a very efficient form of organization founded on principles of logic, order, and legitimate authority. Thus bureaucratic type of organization was proposed for the sake of efficiency and effectiveness. The basic features of bureaucratic organization include 1. A division of labor by functional specialization. 2. A well-defined hierarchy of authority. 3. A system of rules covering the duties and rights of employees. 4. A system of procedures for dealing with work situations. 5. Impersonal relations between people. 6. Selection and promotion based upon competence and excellence. These basic features have some benefits to educational organizations. The application of rules and procedures leads to consistent employee behavior in educational institutions. In addition, since the duties, jobs, and responsibilities are clearly defined, the overlapping or conflicting job duties are eliminated, while division of labor makes the workers specialists. The emphasis is on the position rather than an individual person ensures organizational continuity. Even if the individuals leave the position. However, bureaucratic organizations are subject to too much red tape and paperwork. This is because of the impersonal nature of the work, which makes the employees not to care about the organization. Since there is no sense of belonging and devotion. In fact, organizations are bound to experience resistance to change, and the introduction of new techniques of operations because employees become used to routines. Human relations, HERA, stock movement, 1930 to 1950. The two previous schools were criticized on the ground that they limited their discussion to such factors as fair pay, economic incentives, and establishing of formal relationships. Human relations movement emerged in reaction to the failure of previous movement to fully appreciate the human element as a major factor in organizational effectiveness. The human relations school is sometimes called the neoclassical school because it rose in reaction to shortcomings of the classical approach. The major contributors to the human relations school were Mary Parker Follett and Altimayo. Altimayo's famous experiment, particularly those conducted at Western Electric Hatton plant, opened a new dimension of management thought. Mayo found that an efficiently designed job would not always lead to improved productivity, as the scientific management school believed. This is because forces arising from interaction between people could and often do override managerial effort, and people sometimes respond more strongly to pressure from others in the work group than to management's desires and incentives. Altimayo and his associate findings results. Therefore, Altimayo and his associates findings revealed that 1. The quantum of work carried out by a worker is not determined by his physical capacity, but his social capacity. The individual workers aggregate invariably affect the organizational level of efficiency. 2. Non-economic rewards were much more effective in achieving workers' motivation and happiness. 3. Overspecialization was not the most efficient form of division of labor, and 4. Workers react to management and its norms and rewards as members of groups, not as individuals, to achieve organizational goals. In addition to this, Maslow's proposals were primarily motivated not by economic forces, as the scientific management writers believed, but by various needs that money only partially and indirectly fulfills. Based on these findings, writers of human relations school believed that if management showed more concern for the employees, employee satisfaction should increase, which would lead to an increase in productivity. You will learn more about Maslow's submissions under motivation in the subsequent study session. Generally, the human relations proponents recommended the use of effective supervision, employee counseling, and giving workers more opportunities to communicate on the job. They said by so doing, both employees and organizational goals will be fulfilled. Summary for study section 3. In this study session, you have learned that 1. The scientific management is closely associated with the work of Frederick Taylor, Frank and Lillian Gibret, and Henry Gart. They made effort to analyze the job and determine its basic components. 2. The intention was to eliminate wasted motion and employ standardized procedures and equipment to the greatest degree possible. This was followed by the administrative school of thought. 3. The primary aim of this school was to identify the universal principles and function of administration. While the emphasis of human relations school was on effective human relations in administration, thereby recommending effective supervision, employees counseling, and opportunity to communicate at work. This is the end of study section 3. Thanks for listening.